We are back with another Age of Mythology Retold casted game from a point of view of the players. Today we're watching Husk Soup. So Husk Soup, he's just put a video out about Frey. So I thought, why not find one of his most recent Frey games and see how he pilots it. If anyone wants to watch that, I really recommend it. He puts out some great guides, so got to plug that when you can. But he's playing Frey on Anatolia, and in that video he says that Frey is probably one of the best Anatolia gods out there. So let's see if this game shows us why. So early on, it looks like what he's doing is he sent all of his initial villagers over to the wood. He's then got a dwarf over here and then moving over onto the food now. He's also got looks like the smallest bit of idle time. I also want to move him over to the left side because that's what we like to do, even if he's on the right, so we know. And then he's getting out a dwarf later on. Obviously gone up to the top straight away to put his dock down. You can really just choose either side. It doesn't really matter. And then a house on this side. When you're playing as Norse, your Berserk has a lot to do when playing on the water maps. He is your scout. He's your builder. So it's a little bit tough to try and get docks up and houses. It'd be interesting to see whether he goes to scout if the enemy player, Rappel, the Hades player, is on this side, or if he's gone to the other side, or whether he just chooses, you know what, he's just going to take his side of the fish on both sides. It's kind of a toss-up of what you really want to do on Anatolia. You can, if you find out that the enemy player isn't here, you can just do the one side, or you can try and fight for both. But it looks like he's trying to fight for both. Also going to put the dock right in the center. No, he's not. Maybe we're just having a scout to have a look, see if there was an aggressive dock from the Hades player. Here we have some of the relics that we've found so far. So improves hero speed, Hermes wing sandals, pretty good relic. I think that's got nerfed recently. I'm pretty sure that was 10% before, but it's gone down to 5%. Still very strong. Blue crystal shard, extra wood and gold gather rate. Always want that one if you can. And heroes do more damage to myth units. So a couple of hero relics. If you can get both of those, that'd be very nice. So dock coming up. Got how many villagers over here? So he's got 8 on the wood, and also going to drop a house at home. This is what I'm saying about the Berserk has so much to do, but if he has so much to do, he needs to run back to drop a more defensive temple. So yeah, why not just drop it with your villager from home? It's not like you're going to lose out on that much wood. Probably losing out on what 10 wood's worth to drop that house, and you really want to value the scout doing his bit. But he has made it home. He's got a decent amount of fish. So how many fish has he got on this side? He's got 8 fish on this side, already 1 on this side. So a full fish boom going on, and he'll be able to drop the temple now. Also, I assume he got, so he hasn't got any upgrades yet, but he's getting hand axe out now. I think there are builds where you can get hand axe quicker, but I assume they're a bit more harder to execute, and more can go wrong. When I watched his video, he said this is a build that is a bit easier to execute, but still obviously gets most of the benefits for it, which is the kind of build you want. You don't want a build which, if you mess it up, you're going to be behind if you were just to have just done a simpler build that's much easier to execute every single time. So temple going up. The normal advance times for Anatolia or any of these water maps are a bit later than your standard games, just because obviously you're spending the extra time, the extra wood over here, getting your docks in. And the unupgraded fishing ships don't do much in terms of gather rate. They're like half a villager. So if we see here, a villager on the huntable is 0.95, whereas this is when he's 5 months actually fishing is 0.5. So it's basically half a villager. So he's got 9 this side, and so he's got 14 total. So it's like having 7 extra villagers basically. But also deciding to go through Ula. I was wondering what the best god is. I mean, Ula's obviously the only available to Frey, and he's a very strong god with the Draugrs and the Asgardian hill forts. But maybe you might want to go for Freyr this in these sort of games, because you can put some harassment on with the Valkyrie, forest fire, the large wood line, because you would expect the players to have more on wood than a normal land map, just because obviously they want to get all these fishing ships out. Also going for extra docks this side. Really nice play to get the aggressive dock first, because it means that these fish, he's actually pinched 2 of the Rappel's fish, when if he wouldn't have done this, he might not have been able to do that, because his 2 might have been the more defensive side. Also obviously getting some hearses out for buildings as soon as he gets up to the next stage. He's got a decent amount of everything. So Deciding to drop the Asgardian hill fort at home. It's going to take 200 seconds unless he gets someone on that, but very unlikely to have some early pressure coming out. There's also a couple of gold mines on this spawn, or most spawns of Anatolia. And he is going for some of those relics. Blue Crystal Shard, very good for your macro game. And a Draugr coming along to help. Ajax coming, so it does look like he's going for a little bit of aggression on the water. So a hammer ship this side and a siege ship this side. Siege ship to get rid of the dock, or maybe that's just to get rid of the Ajax. And hammer ship in general is probably one of the stronger ones. But it isn't great against the docks because it only has that 10% pierce armor. There is a bit of a triangle with these where the hammers are good against the siege, which are good against the arrows, which are good against the hammer ships. But the strongest ones are really your heroic age myth units. If you can get Krakens, if you can get Scyllas, if you can get whatever the other ones are, then those are better than everything and way better than all the ships, in fact. And it looks like he might be going for some kind of fast heroic. You can see that there's almost 800 food in, almost got the gold in as well, especially if he's going to stop getting the dwarves out, spending that gold. Looks like heroic fleet is already pre-queued. So this makes your arrow ships better at fighting myth units. So this is exactly what we're saying. One of the most common strategies for Hades, Zeus, or Poseidon, and why they're so strong on water, is basically min attacking the water and min defending the water, and basically going for a fast heroic to get the Scyllas out. And one of the counters to this would be heroic fleet, which gives you extra damage against myth units. But it looks like he's also trying to get Aegir through so he can get that Kraken, which will match up decently against the Scylla until it gets its heads in. And there's also some land units coming out. Hoplites very good at coming and taking out these docks. And unfortunately, this is the dock which heroic fleet is in, so that might get cancelled. And it's a Freyr technology, so it's going to take ages to actually research somewhere else. 100 seconds might just be worth cancelling that because it's not going to come through in the next half a minute or so. And he could just end up sacking this side of the water, honestly, because his Kraken will spawn up here, and then you could just shift to going this side and let Rappel maybe commit a little bit more this side. But it looks like there's not too much committed. He's playing it quite well. Where you don't want to overcommit with the ships because they do cost a lot. I mean, if you were to get 4 of these or 5 of these, it costs the same as a town centre. Quite expensive. So instead, going full land, throwing out some berserks out of all these longhouses here, longhouse, and the medium infantry already in. Something with the Freyr technologies, you've got to get them in before you want them. Already up. Kraken up here is going to be doing a little bit of aggression up the top, a little bit of raiding on the enemy fishing ships, and yeah, might just need to just pull back on this one. It's also getting a second Kraken out. Is he getting the Kraken out up the top again? I didn't see where it came from, unless I saw it down the bottom. Looks like he does want it down this bottom side to defend his last remaining dock. He doesn't want to give the Rappel that for free. And he's got a decent army here, throwing Axemen, obviously good against the Hoplites. And the Draugr Rock Giant combo is going to be too much for just one Achilles to handle. Looks like there's not too many ships out for the Hades, so you definitely can push back on this. Maybe I would have been a bit too premature to leave this, but that's why we're watching some of the best. That's why we want to learn what to do. So Kraken definitely able to push off the fish there. Push off the fish. And Kraken down here can one-shot any ship and then move on to slap the rest with the tentacles there. Might need a couple more units out here. It does take a while for them to take down the docks. But instead deciding to go for a forward town centres with the Golem Bursty. Very good. And obviously the Tempest Golem Bursty combo, very, very strong. And this is when Frey comes in with the Heroic Age. He wants all the upgrades whenever you can get them. So we've got Husbandry, Survival Equipment, Shaft Mine, Bowsaw, all the Eco-Tech, Heavy Infantry coming out as well. Might want to turn around and fight this one. And does do with the Throwing Axemen because they don't even need to move. They can just take those down very easily. And he will get this forward town center. Also going for signal fires. Signal fires gives you extra line of sight, which will be nice if he wants to see what sort of forward gold mine the Rappel was going to go for eventually. All those throwing axemen unfortunately get taken down by a good curse usage there, and we'll have to run away. At some point, he'll want to drop another Asgardian hill fort or just a normal hill fort on one of these forward gold mines. Looks like he has already moved forward. Even though he's not finished in the base, he wants to push forward while he has the map pressure and the map pressure that his town center is bringing. Probably going to drop one here would be nice. Something to defend this side and defend this side. Maybe get some kind of wall across this side as well to defend. Rock Giant coming along with this crush damage should easily be able to take out a dock like that. Up the top, the Scylla did actually spawn up the top, and Scylla will be decent against this Kraken, especially as it starts gaining heads, so we might need to be careful up the top, maybe get some more Krakens out, or some hammer ships normally deal pretty decently against them. There we go, the 2 heads are in, and that'll be the Kraken down, unfortunately. Scylla's are very strong. Probably the strongest of the Water Myth units, well, the Heroic Age Water Myth units. Looks like there's a little bit of a raid coming up here. Needs to notice that with his wood villagers might be going down. He does have a town center when you'd assume that the Rappel hasn't gone for one. He hasn't scouted it out, but this happens to me all the time when I play Norse. I select all my units, and then my buildings are pretty much unfinished. I don't know if there's I just need to think about it. Maybe that's where he's sending this berserk down. But that always happens to me. And then I'm like, oh, why didn't my market get finished? Or why didn't my armory get finished? And it's like, oh, it's because I left it with 100 HP left, which takes literally 5 seconds. So I'm glad it doesn't just happen to me. Now, what is he getting? The Feasts of Renown. So Feasts of Renown, this was a recent video that I made about watching one of Boyd's videos, Boyd's gameplays with Frey. It basically gives you some healing on these hill forts, and if you just spam them up, you can get pretty much a healing spring around your hill fort. It's a very strong technology. It also gives you like a bit of food rate as well. Food auto gather work rate, which is basically one food per second. Also going through an early hell, so hell over Vidar, which is interesting. Wants those fire giants and Nidhogg combo instead. Also wants to get the Jormundelver as quickly as possible, but it looks like he's kind of somewhat sacking the water, or sacking the top water anyway. And then we'll try and defend this side. Especially as he's in the Mythic Age, these will have a decent food gather rate. It's already up to 0.88, and he's not even got the last tech in for it, obviously, because he's not in the Mythic Age. Going for a 3rd town center, though, so it won't be a big deal if he doesn't have the water, because he'll have 3 town centers worth of villagers, which is what we like. We like to see. Also going for, like, the mostly wood-based units, too. We can see he's getting Throwing Axemen, he's getting Huskarls, and a few Berserks, which means your eco becomes quite easy, where it's mostly wood, mostly gold, and then just the food from the fish will be enough for just for the berserks there. I always call them Ulfsogs. Won't ever change. How many hill forts does he have up? It looks like he's got two hill forts. Not too much favor in the bank, so he can only drop one more if he really wants to, but has secured however many gold mines here. Looks like enemy unit-wise, there's only archers, so his combo of units, also bringing in the portable ram to tank and take down the buildings too, is very good against that with the 60 pierce armor. He hasn't actually got the pierce armor upgrade either, so a base 60% pierce armor is very, very strong against the Hades comp. Capacipists are coming out, which is such a good counter to this whole army. Needs to bring some Throwing Axemen over to deal with these Capacipists, because they're just going to tear them down so quickly. Mythic Age is in, though. He can use the Nidhogg maybe on one of the gold mines or on the Archer Ball. It takes a lot of initial damage, but if the archers kind of stick together, then they deal some really big amounts of damage. I wonder if he'll cancel the special too. Lots of damage coming down. Does manage to cancel the special so that the Nidhogg doesn't run over here and then just keep getting shot down by the Chiron. Yeah, it takes so much damage. It's a very strong unit, but these heroes, on just normal archers, counter it so quickly, so easily. The poor guy. But he does do a lot of damage when he can get in the right position. A couple of portable rams going forward too. Needs to be careful to not put them near some villagers though, because those villagers will take them down so quick. Oh, notices very, very quickly, and that is where the hill fort comes down. You can bring this fire giant over. Fire giant special damage on these villagers. Takes so many out. Oh, unfortunately, was that the special? No, I think that was just a normal ability went on that guy. But his special is down though, and those villagers are gonna get caught out. Hephaestus is in. Looks like there's a couple of fast mythics coming through. Even though Mythic Age has been nerfed slightly, or it's a little bit tougher to get there. So it'll be Fire Giants versus Colossus. Not many Fire Giants queued, instead going for Rampage to get those Fire Giants out quicker whenever he wants to, and just wants to fight to get in that favor. And basically every single upgrade you can think of, you need to do it ASAP. How many buildings we're looking like? So we've got 7 longhouses, 5 great halls, 3 hill forts. The Nidhogg is in. Restoration used. Golem Bursty right on the edge here, and he lasts for a minute. This is a Mythic Age hero, so those myth units go down so quick. Saving Golem Bursty for this point in the game, very, very strong. If he can get on that Nemean Lion, he is slower the further he moves away. Just deciding to attack the town center. He's got quite a lot of crush damage there, so he's going to be on there for the next 45 seconds. So basically just like having an extra portable ram that can't really be touched for a while. This side of the water did get cleared up, but he is Suppe is in a commanding position anyway. Champion infantry in. Throwing axeman, managing to take out the sentinels. Oh. This poor guy somehow still managing without a head. There he goes. Just deciding to go for the main base rather than pressuring over the gold mines here. I assume it's because maybe he's managed to fortify this up with some fortresses, and the main base is normally weaker just because the gold mines are gone. You don't really put as much defensive buildings here. So Suppe's just decided, yep, just go straight for the main base. Even manages to get the plenty bolt. Steals away 4 gold, wood, and food per second, which I believe somebody said is the equivalent of 12 villagers. So that's very, very strong. So add 80, add 12, so 92 compared to the 32 villagers. But obviously Rappel does have some fish. But in that time, Suppe comes away with the victory. So yeah, Suppe, definitely one of the best Frey players out there. And I think one of the main takeaways of playing Frey is the second that you get up to the next age, just right-click every single technology that you can really think of that you might want within the next few minutes, because they take so long to come in. But yeah, really showing why Frey is such a good water god, god for these hybrid water maps. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.